Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Henry and Susan, and we are on another podcast today. Should your solar panels be cleaned right after installation? That is a question that we have been getting. And what was the other questions that we've been asked this week?
So I've been listening to a lot of the new customers that we've been getting, and they've been asking or they've been concerned about when they should get their panels cleaned, and some of them hesitate about wanting them cleaned after they've been installed. And another thing is, uh, God, I just went blank. Um, I went blank.
Well, yeah, I mean, main question would be, when,
Oh, I remember.
what.
Sorry. When the time of day they need to be cleaned, because a lot of customers have been not wanting them cleaned during the day because it's so, summer's coming, it's hot. So they're like, oh, I want them clean, when it's cooler, when the sun's starting to go down. So that's another thing that customers have been, when they called us, when we try to schedule them, they're like, oh no, we don't want them cleaned in the morning. We want them clean.
They
Oh,
want them cleaned
they
in
want them cleaned early in the morning, or they want them
late
cleaned
in the
late in
afternoon.
late in the afternoon before the sun goes down. They don't want them cleaned in the middle of the day
Why is that?
because what they've been told, and I asked them, well, who told you this? And they said the solar panel installation company, the guy told them that you shouldn't get your panels cleaned when the sun's out in the middle of the day. And they said because they're going to crack because of the heat.
So customers, and we're talking to customers here that have searched for this answer. Should your solar panels be cleaned at a certain time of day? And that's a big misconception in the solar industry because yeah, I mean, you can go out and you could clean solar panels in 110-degree weather. Um, and people will say, well, I don't want my solar panels to be cracked. Now, uh, just set this for the record that solar panels have been tested and they are able to withstand temperatures of 185 degrees. Um, so you want to make sure that when you are cleaning solar panels, there's a few things that we do, and we don't do anything differently than other people do. Um, Say, for example, we clean solar panels in Palm Springs when it's 110 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 110 degrees in Palm Springs at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, we got to clean them. And so we clean solar panels all day long. And 12 o'clock, afternoon, lunchtime, it could be 110 degrees outside, and we're cleaning solar panels. Now, have we ever broke a glass? Ever broke a solar panel? No. And we've cleaned thousands of solar panels. Um, there is a protector or coating that goes on these solar panels when they're when they come out and they're installed. The installers will install the solar panels. There's a protector, the coating, and what have you. Now, we want to talk about what type of equipment are you actually using? Are you using equipment that's going to be scratching up the glass? Are you going to be using equipment that is not designed to clean solar panels? Um, those are the questions that you should be asking as a customer because you have a huge investment and you just don't want anybody out there cleaning your solar panels. You don't want that. We have state of the art equipment. Okay. Our equipment costs thousands of dollars and we put that on top of your solar panels and we clean them. And we clean them several times. not just one time, not twice. We clean them several times to go out there and make sure that your solar panels are brand new. Now, we always have been asked this question. When should we clean our solar panels? Every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, what have you. There are a lot of people that are stuck on 1 year. Why? I don't. It's like you're losing money.
Well,
and you're losing money big time.
Some of the customers say because, their production is going well and they just want it every year. And some of them, because financially, that's what they can afford. So that's understandable as far as the budget, but I don't quite understand why they want to wait, because they say their production's going well. My bill hasn't been high, so why should I get them cleaned every 6 months?
I can guarantee this. When you first got them installed, and if you looked at your app when you first got them installed to right now, today, guarantee you there's a significant change in your solar panel production. Guarantee it. We get called. We started this business over 5 years, almost 5 years now, 5 years ago. And we started this business, and we get so many people calling us because they notice that there has been a significant change in their solar panel production. We didn't tell them that. They noticed that through either their bill or their app that they have, or the solar company has called them and said, you need to check out your solar panels. You need to clean your solar panels. And we get a lot of recommendations when it comes to that from the solar companies. Hey, give this company a call, or give your solar cleaning company a call. And then that's when everybody is searching for solar panel cleaning companies. And this is when we get the phone calls. And it's always when it gets hot. When it gets hot, we are 3 weeks, a month and a half to 2 months out, because we have so many people calling during the summertime when it's 110 degrees outside, not now when it's 70 degrees out. They don't call, right? It's like they call us when it is super, super hot.
It's funny because even when they call when it's hot, they're like, oh, I want them clean later, or I want them clean in the morning. And we try to explain to them that we clean them all day long, and they're very concerned about the panels being cracked. And we explain to them that if you put cold water on the solar panels, then they're going to crack.
Right. And this goes to my next point. So as a customer, you should know that it doesn't matter if you're using a 3-stage system, a 4-stage system, and a lot of you customers don't know what that is a lot of window cleaners will have something like a 3-stage system or a 4-stage system. And it goes through filters, right? It goes through RO membranes. It goes through deionized filter. It goes through carbon filters, sediment filters. It goes through all that before it gets to the end of their pole and their brush. And they could be running, I don't know, 200 feet of cable, maybe 300 feet of cable like we do. Rerun ours through 300 feet of cable, and then it goes into our brush, and then we use a high pressure system to rotate our brush and clean solar panels. So by the time that the water hits that brush, I don't care if it's a water fed pole or a system like we have, the C1000, the temperature is going to be close to outside anyway. So the myth about you cleaning solar panels and it's going to crack the glass is just a myth. It's something that is most likely will never happen unless you go out and get yourself a bucket, fill it up with ice, pour cold water, and at 110-degree day, you go to your solar panels and you throw that bucket of ice right onto the hot solar panels, then you most likely will shatter that particular glass. We don't do that. No solar company, cleaning company will ever do that because they all know that a quick temperature change will cause damage to the solar panels. Now, if you're cleaning them at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and you're cleaning those with the systems that you have, by the time that it gets to the end of your brush and coming onto the solar panels, then it's going to actually cool down the solar panels, and it'll probably be a difference of about 10 degrees. That's pretty much it. There's just a lot of misconceptions, and we want to make sure that that's clear as to the customer itself, because we're talking to customers here, and we're talking to you as, most likely any time of the day is going to be fine for you. But if you want, say, an optimal time, then you want to get them done early in the morning or later in the afternoon. But because of the schedules that every single solar panel cleaner has during the summertime, it's impossible. I can guarantee you that most of them are not going to sit and wait to do it early in the morning and late at night when they got 12 calls, 15 calls to do like we do. Well, we got tons of calls and we're on a schedule and going from one to another. And this is all about educating the customer, educating you and letting you know, what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you. Okay. Yeah. So, some of the other questions that we get, is.
Oh, the other one I mentioned.
Which is.
Why did I go blank again?
You better start writing this stuff down.
No, I don't need to write it down.
Your mind is just.
No, that they, when they should get them cleaned after an install, that was a big question that a lot of customers were having. Oh, I just got them 2 weeks ago, or I just got them a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that dirty right now, so I want to wait 6 months from now to get them clean.
So the answer to that question would be, okay, you just got your solar panels installed. They've been sitting on your roof for 40 days, 45 days before they actually get activated. Okay, sometimes 30 days if you got a really good solar company. They can activate that in 30 days. Remember, the installers are going up there. They're installing solar panels. Some of them, and I'm not speaking for all, some of them may not be wearing gloves and, putting the fingerprints all over the solar panels. We find a lot of that. And then we find some that have oils that we find on the solar panels themselves. It is best to get the solar panels clean right when they get activated. So when you know that these things are live, get them cleaned, because that will give you the true reading of the solar panel outputs when you are brand new to the system. Just because they've been sitting up there for 30 days or 45 days and literally they just sit up there and get dirty anyway. They're getting dusty. They're getting dirty. it's they're dirty. And
Especially if you live in a high wind area where you get a lot of dust, um, your panels are going to get dirty right away. And that's something that you can avoid because you're in that area where there's so much in the air as far as dust and dirt and all that. So
high winds.
high wind. So, when you're in that type of area, you're even as soon as you get your panels installed, they're already getting dirty
Right.
by the next day.
Right. I mean, we were in Palm Springs the other day and the winds were blowing 70 miles an hour. Dust storm. You talking dust?
I had to wear a mask to protect myself from all the dust that was blowing.
It was
around.
so bad. And we were doing bird proofing. And then afterwards we had to clean the solar panels themselves.
And this was on a 1-story house. So it was pretty windy. Had it been a 2-story, we probably would have rescheduled it because it would have been a little too dangerous to be out there.
Right.
Such high winds. But, even in a 1-story with all these high winds at 70 miles an hour, we saw the dust storms happening while we were up there. And
while we were working, right.
So there was no way to avoid that because we're already doing the work. So, we're cautious and we're being very careful, but, cleaning them was a little more of a challenge because we had the
Right.
dust flying around.
Right. And we were doing bird proofing, I think, Memorial Day. We were doing bird proofing then. And I mean, it got really, really hot that day. I was working up there and just the tile itself was extremely hot. So what we do to continue working is we will spray in the air a slight light mist to cool down the panels
and the
roof itself. And when you cool them down, then the temperature starts to drop, and then it's workable. You can put your hand on the solar panel and not get burned. But without it, you're going to feel that heat, and before you know it, that solar panel could be 120 degrees or 130 degrees, and about the time that you touch it, you're gonna know how hot that is. Now, there are certain things that we look out for. So, for example, if it's 110 degrees outside and we're cleaning the solar panels, you can pretty much guarantee that when you clean these solar panels at that temperature, that the solar panels could drop down to like 80 degrees. And then all of a sudden, when you clean them and that water starts to go down
and it dries up,
you will see how fast it dries up. And that tells you that solar panel is doing its job. It's working because it is drying up that water as quickly as it's coming on. Now, you can't control that temperature because the sun rays that's coming through is heating up those cells, and those cells right there are doing the work and producing energy. And all of a sudden, you look at your app, and your app was, say, constant level like this, and all of a sudden we clean them, and then all of a sudden it just goes up, 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 and before you know it, your production has increased dramatically after we clean the solar panels. And so when we clean these solar panels, we make sure that we're looking at that. There's other things that we look at also. We look at the meter, the electric meter. If the electric meter is spinning backwards, we know that is producing from the solar panels themselves. The solar panels are doing the work, and you're getting your energy from the solar panels themselves when your electric meter is spinning backwards. If it's spinning forwards, and you will notice that, especially at night when the sun is down, you'll see the direction of that particular electric meter spin the other way. And then you kind of know, okay, now I'm using the electricity from the electric company. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. We got Jonathan Rosario.
Oh, okay. What does Jonathan have to say?
Jonathan, where are you from, by the way? Says, hey guys, how have you been? Have you guys ever cleaned a panel with roof caulking? How do you say that?
Caulking.
Caulking and oil marks on them.
Yeah,
Now, from my experience, I haven't seen any roof caulking, what is it?
caulking.
Caulking on them, but I've seen oil marks. And it's funny because when I see Henry clean the panel, you see like little streaks of oil on
Mhm.
some of them. And that's because of what?
Well, it could be from a lot of things. We have run an experience with guys that will put this tacky, uh, their little square, their round little tacky stuff for the pigeons. So they put them on the roof themselves, and when the pigeon steps on them, it's like a glue type deal. The pigeons don't like it, but when the pigeons walk on the solar panels, then it leaves a whole bunch of oils and markings and what have you. As far as caulking and stuff like that,
That's more on the roof.
no, he's
Yeah.
talking about the solar panels themselves.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've never seen that.
I've seen it on there. You can get a plastic scraper and try to scrape that off the best you can, but
Oh, that was a new install.
it's a new install, of course. And so the best thing to do is try to scrape it off the best you can with the plastic scraper, and that way it gets it off. And then clean it with your brush, and make sure that your brush is that you're using deionized water or reverse RO water, reverse osmosis water. Make sure you're using something like that. We don't use any type of chemicals, okay? Because the chemicals will void the warranty of all solar panel companies. And when I say all, most solar panel companies are going to look for you to say, oh, no, I sprayed this with a chemical, or I sprayed this with paint thinner or paint remover. We had a gentleman that gave us a call that showed us pictures of a painter that got paint on the solar panels.
Mm-hmm.
He used a stripper, and it ruined all of the solar panels. Took the top layer off, the protective coating off the solar panels, and
Basically, he damaged all the panels.
he damaged all the panels. I mean, they were ruined. You might as well just replace all the panels.
There's no point in cleaning them.
Even after he cleaned them, they took the pictures, and it looked the same with all these streaks going through the cells and the panels and all that. And it just wasn't, it was not good for the customer. And the customer just had that new, I think they had solar panels installed recently. And unfortunately, stuff like that, if you don't know what you're doing, you can ruin a $20,000, $30,000, or $40,000 system. Very easy. And a lot of people don't understand that, especially a customer. Customer doesn't understand that. A customer wants to know, how cheap can I go to clean my solar panels? But what they don't realize is the damage that it could cause if somebody doesn't know exactly what they're doing. They got to have experience when they clean solar panels. Yes, solar panels can be cleaned very easily. It can. But there's a lot of people that can ruin solar panels just as fast. And you want to make sure that you hire a professional, you hire guys that have great reviews, you hire guys that have insurance, you hire guys that have lots of experience with any situation that may come up when it comes to cleaning the solar panels.
Well, we had somebody, a solar panel cleaner guy that called us from Arizona, and he was concerned about, cleaning the panels during the day because it gets real hot up
114 degrees, and and what have you. And just so you know, you are going to have heat exhaustion before those panels decide that they're going to crack or break or anything else. If you're doing cleans at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So you got to prepare yourself for that. Even for me, like bird proofing, and where we're up on a roof and we are working for 5 hours, 6 hours. I mean, if you're not hydrating yourself and you're not out there just drinking water and just keeping yourself cool, oh, you're going to feel it, and you're going to either feel really lightheaded or pass out or anything. Anything can happen. So this is why you have to just be really careful and know what you're doing when you go out there and get that done.
He said this was
Who said?
Jonathan.
Jonathan Rosario.
This install was so bad that some panels were scratched and 2 of them were not screwed in.
We're not screwed. Yeah, I mean, you get those. You're going to get those because guys are in a hurry. It could be like really hot that day. They just want to go home, get it done. So we've seen shortcuts like that, and that's up to the solar panel company to go out there and do their inspections and making sure that their inspections are passing and what have you. But when it comes to solar panel cleaning, there's just basic questions that people do ask. They ask, how much does it cost to clean solar panels? And there's such a variety of prices out there that there's guys out there that are charging $7 per panel. There's guys charging $2 per panel. There's guys charging $15 to $20 per panel. And there's guys out there charging $25 per panel. So there's a lot of companies that charge per panel. We charge a flat rate. And so we like to stick to that flat rate because we have the machinery to do it. We have the equipment. It was funny because the guy that called us today was in Arizona, and I asked him, what are you using? He said, I'm using a 3-stage system. And I said, okay, how long does it take you to clean 40 panels?
Well, he said an hour.
About an hour. Well, with my equipment,
Henry did a 60-panel house today, a 2-story home, 60 panels in 20 minutes.
20 minutes. And I went over them several times, 3 times as a matter of fact. And this was a repeat customer, a very, very, this guy has an immaculate home.
A mansion.
A mansion. And
he has 2 properties.
He had 2 properties, and we cleaned both properties today. As a matter of fact, my second one that we cleaned was almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And it started warming up pretty good. I had these little beads on my forehead, and I was wondering what they were. And I guess that was sweat. I was sweating today.
It was nice because the owner gave us some coffee. We had a cup of
Yeah,
coffee.
I mean, he invited us into his home, offered us coffee. We had some coffee afterwards. And I said, hey, I got to go go do some more work. We got more work to go do out here.
Coffee first. Coffee first.
So we took advantage of the coffee. But you get what you pay for. And, there's guys out here that would do it for $2 per panel and just look at their equipment. As a customer, be afraid if they come up and they got the cheapest equipment possible, or they're using your water hose and putting hard water onto those solar panels. And one of the biggest issues and the biggest problems is people don't know. They're not educated.
I think a long time, a while back, a customer called and I gave him a quote, and they said, okay, well, we'll think about it. Call them. And I called them back and asked them, also, do you want me to schedule you oh no, we decided we're gonna go with this company. I said, well, if you don't mind me asking, how much do they quote you? And so she told me, and it was really, really low. And I tried to convince them.
What was the difference between their price and our price? What was the difference?
It was about maybe $50, $60 less.
50,
Then this is a one-story home.
$50 or $60 less.
This was a one-story home, and I tried to convince her, and she's like, no. She's like, no, I already booked them. Okay.
Well, that's because they're going to go over there. They don't have listen, most people that are in the solar industry cleaning solar panels, and I teach a lot of people this business, is they use the cheapest crap out there, cheapest stuff out there that they can possibly use. Now, there's some good guys out there, right? There's guys out there that are going to go out there. They have good equipment. They even, there's window cleaning equipment out there that they're out there for an hour and a half cleaning, and they're cleaning them, right? They're cleaning them. Takes them a long time. But if you have the right equipment,
you'll spend less time.
You'll spend way less time on there. You can clean them over and over and over and over again many, many times. So when we offer a solar panel cleaning here in California, I'm going to go over them 6 to 8 times just to make sure that they're brand new. This is what we want. We want nothing on these solar panels. So when we do that, we clean them 6 to 8 times with our equipment. And our equipment is thousands of dollars. And when we do that, I can guarantee you when those solar panels dry up, by the time that I get off that roof, they're already dry. They are spot free. No residue on them whatsoever. And that's exactly what you want. If somebody is using your hose, most likely they are putting hard water on there. And we test every single customer's water. When we go out there, we test it to see how hard that water is. And I know here in California, you're looking at 300 to 400 to 450 parts per million of contaminants that's in the water itself. And then if you were to spray that on top of the solar panels, then you will go out there and you will ruin those panels in due time because the calcium buildup on those things will start to happen and gradually start to go out there and ruin the panels. Well, Henry, what's the difference between rainwater? Rainwater is also not great for solar panels.
You can't avoid it though.
Can't avoid it, right? Human nature. It's human. It's not human nature. It's yeah.
It's just nature.
It's nature. So what we do is we take all the bad particles, take all that off the solar panels with the deionized water or the RO water. Okay. We take all of that out and we leave it clean, brand new. So it would be like you taking a shower and after, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months, you look at your glass doors on your shower. Do you have calcium buildup there? That's exactly what's happening to your solar panels if you are spraying them with your own hose. That's exactly what's happening. Nothing different. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And by the time that you realize that the production is gone, the damage is done. So we have to come up from behind and basically go out there and clean the solar panels and make sure that they're nice and clean when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. So, wow, we're going on 30 minutes already. Guys, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, put them in the chat here. And a lot of people had to work late tonight, I take it.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Because of the holidays.
Well, that and, the sun's out.
Yeah, sun's still out.
Yeah, sun's still out. But
So
Jonathan's from Jersey.
he's from Jersey. Sorry, guys.
He's
Got
from
all
Jersey.
these messages.
How
over here.
how is business out there in Jersey, Jonathan? Is it a lot? Is it getting busy? How is the solar experience out there? Right?
How is it?
In Jersey.
I don't know. I think it's getting darker now up in Jersey. A lot earlier now. Yeah.
Oh, is
sun,
it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I may be wrong. Who knows? Maybe Jonathan can ask that question.
I know there's some storms going on in Texas,
Big time.
so
Yeah.
tornadoes and stuff. So
Tornadoes.
Mhm.
So how often should we be cleaning our solar panels? How often?
normally,
Because customer always is, they ask that question all the time.
normally every 6 months. We do have some customers that want it every 3 months because they know the importance of, getting them clean. But normally 6 months. But we've been getting customers that want to wait, that want a year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just what they choose. And even if we explained to them, they said no, my bill's working, my solar panels are working properly, I'm gonna wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Not much I can do about that.
But the thing is, when you decide that you're only going to clean your solar panels once a year, you are doing yourself a disservice. Why would you invest thousands of dollars in a solar system and not have it run at its highest output that it could run? Why would you throw that money away and sit there and not produce more energy when solar panels are clean rather than when they are dirty? Why would you do that as a customer? Because most of you are not educated when it comes to your solar panels. A lot of you guys didn't even know your solar panels need to be cleaned. A lot of you guys didn't know that until you called your solar company and say, well, there's something wrong with my solar. Why do I have a bill? Why is my bill so high? Why is that? Well, it's $400 this month. What did I do differently? What did I do differently than what I did when they were first installed? You didn't do anything differently. You created more dirt, more buildup on that glass to where your solar panels started producing a lot less. That's the only thing that you did differently, which you really didn't do anything at all. The solar panels kind of just stayed up on your roof. Nothing else happened other than they got dirty. And if you want the best production all year around, just make sure your solar panels are clean all year around. And if you're able to do that, then you're able to get the maximum production out of each and every one of those solar panels. Right?
Jonathan said it's getting busy, but not as busy as California. The market is still new out there.
Well, of course. I mean, Jonathan he's in
Jersey.
Mm-hmm. So he's on the other side of the world right there on the East Coast. We're on the West Coast. There's 3 states that are really high when it comes to solar panels.
Texas.
California, Texas, Florida, and then now Maine is starting to go up there and starting to get more green now, more solar panels in Jersey. You're probably right around the corner. There's a lot of other states that are following suit, and they're starting to push the solar out there because they're seeing what the bigger states are doing, and the bigger states would be Florida, Texas, and California. And there's so much solar out here, it's pathetic. It's just, I mean, it's a great business, but there's a lot of solar installers out there doing solar now and what have you.
He says Jersey has a lot, but Pennsylvania is
Still behind. There's a lot of states that are still behind. I can tell you right now that when I went to Australia, they were 15 years ahead of us when it came to solar. They've had solar for 15 years prior to California just coming in and starting to get their solar installed. So Europe, Germany, all these other countries, European states, they have fields and fields and fields of solar, wind turbines, a lot of other, stuff out there that generates green energy. So, yeah, this is new to a lot of the states here in the United States. Still got to catch up, and once they do, then you'll start to see more solar panel cleaners out there.
Mm-hmm. And I think it has to do with educating the politicians, the people that say, okay, let's start putting solar on all these commercial and all these, in the state, right?
Politicians?
Yeah.
2 things I don't talk about on our podcast: politicians and religion. 2 things.
Yeah.
I have nothing nice to say about politicians, and everybody has their own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the answer to that question is, yeah, politicians get fed really, really nice when it comes to the solar industry, and when it comes down to the incentives, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of good incentives for some of these politicians out here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. What's the weather been like in Jersey?
Oh, I like how you changed that subject really quick. That was pretty good.
No, I'm just curious.
How's the weather been like with everybody out there that is watching this podcast? Not just Jersey. I mean, so.
Well, I know some states there's storms, there's been tornadoes. So, the season. How's the season out there in Jersey? When is it hurricane season, or when is it tornado
in Jersey?
Season? Yeah.
I don't think they.
I think they do. I think.
No.
No? You sure?
Jersey?
We'll ask Jonathan.
Jonathan, do you get hurricanes?
Or tornadoes?
Well, I can see hurricanes off the Atlantic coast, but mainly Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. They
Oh, he says hurricane season is August and September.
August and September. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, because I didn't grow up on the East Coast.
Yeah,
I grew up on the West Coast, and we don't know what a hurricane is over here.
No, but they do.
I could tell you what an earthquake is.
Oh, they have.
We have them every day. Oh, I think we're having one now.
So, since their season of hurricanes is August and September, it must slow down a lot for you during that time period, because safety reasons, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, they had a tornado last year. One tornado.
Yeah.
So they get the storms.
They had one tornado.
Oh, that's still a tornado.
But
they get hurricanes.
Let's talk about Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, I'll talk about that. And you'll see. Now you're talking tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking a lot of stuff.
Oh, one random earthquake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did have one.
Yeah, earthquake?
Oh, yeah, they had one.
Was it
one? There was a little one.
1.2?
No, not that small, but they had one. And it was all over actually, Jonathan, it was all over the news out here about the earthquake you had in Jersey. They did mention that.
They had an earthquake in Jersey?
Mhm.
No.
Mhm.
I don't think in California, I mean, just like we get earthquakes every day. So just about.
Felt bigger when I lived. I can't see.
When I lived over there.
Mm.
Of course, because they were bigger. 4.0, 4.5.
6.
Then you go to Jersey and it's 1.2, 1.7. Oh, what was that?
Mm-hmm.
The whole town shut down up in Jersey.
But that's good to know about the different seasons that, when they get those kind of storms out there and
Well,
how it affects your business.
That's exactly what it is, the seasons, right? The East Coast get all the seasons, and here in California, it's sunny all year round.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so you should be cleaning these solar panels as often as you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, he said people had to take their kids out of school.
Of course. Yeah, it was a big event.
Safety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I was continue working cleaning solar panels here in California. Earthquakes happen all the time here.
Mm-hmm. Although there's been a few times where we've been up on the roof and there's a little shake, but we didn't feel it. It's just around the time that I saw that it did happen, we were on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're getting busier now. That's for sure. Things are starting to pick up tremendously. Starting to get hotter now. So a lot of people are going to get busier, and you'll start seeing less and less of people out here on social media
And
because they're working now.
We tend to start earlier when it gets hotter. Because
Right.
Try to beat the heat as much as possible.
Oh, we start at 6:00 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, 7 in the morning. We're out the door. And we want to get out as quickly as possible. I think tomorrow we have 4 scheduled tomorrow. And so 4 jobs. So we'll get that done. I'm actually working every day of the week this week, pretty much. So, and tell me how you guys are doing. Tell me how you guys are doing with your business. What is something that you guys are lacking in your business that you feel like you're lacking? I can tell you right now that most people that lack in their business, and they should really concentrate on this, is marketing. If you don't know how to market yourself, you'll never be seen. And people won't even notice that you're there. There's guys out here marketing themselves on Instagram, marketing themselves on TikTok, and Facebook. And if that works for them, great. There's some out there are marketing themselves, on, for example, Google. And so when people are doing the search, Siri, all these other companies, the Siri, what was the other one? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Alexa.
Oh, yeah, Alexa.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, somebody said, yeah, they found us on Siri the other day. And they called us and they booked an appointment. Mm-hmm. But they did a search on Alexa and Siri, and before you know it, we got a job. Mm-hmm. And there's guys out here that promote themselves for free on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace, and some will throw on Facebook ads and do Facebook ads. And then there's guys out there that use Nextdoor, they use Yelp, they use a lot of Thumbtack and all that good stuff. And I'm on a podcast right now. Can you give me a little break? Huh?
She's very jealous.
She's not jealous.
She wants to be part of the podcast.
No, she doesn't want to be part of the podcast. This is Tink, by the way. Tink is our cat, and
She's
very, very loving.
She rubs her head when she wants your attention. She'll rub her head against you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, there's other, companies out there that will promote you and Google ads and paying for pay-per-click and all that. You got to remember that's part of your budget when you are out there promoting yourselves. One of the things that we did when we first started was wrap our van, and that was one of the best things that I did because, hey, you could be going down the street and people could be right behind you, calling you, and saying, "Hey, I see you in front of me. What do you charge to clean solar panels?"
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, we're setting it up. Jonathan says, so what sets you guys apart from the other companies out there? Marketing. Yeah, it's very simple. We market the hell out of ourselves. And we had a big corporation call us today and we just set up a job. We set up a job with that big corporation to clean their business in July. Because we're so busy, we had to push them back. And this is a Fortune 500 company out there that called us and said, what is your schedule looking like? And we went ahead and we scheduled them for July. And I'm going to tell you, we are at the point right now to where we get companies call us.
That's all we've ever had is company call us. We haven't had one where we had to approach.
Yeah, we have these contracts here that we just printed out. Okay. This contract for one property, I'm not going to show you. And then this is one property.
3 of them.
This is another property. And this is another property. Okay. That we scheduled out. So we have over 10,000 solar panels to clean. And so we're getting ready for summer, and we get all these companies that call us and say, I need it done like yesterday. And we did a lot of marketing when we first started our business, and we just, pounded. I had 4 different companies when I first started, and my problem was I didn't know which company was actually working for us. All I know is we were getting lots of phone calls, lots of people calling us, hey, I need this, I need that, I need this. And then we're out there cleaning solar, and Rick and myself were just running. But my biggest mistake was not knowing what company was actually working for us. But we were spending thousands of dollars just to go out there and put our name out there and get ourselves known. But that's a very easy question, Jonathan. And Jonathan asked, so what sets you guys apart from the other companies out there is our marketing. We do excellent marketing, and we are always on top of our competitors. I know what my competitors are doing. There's a lot of things that our marketing group will figure out. And if you guys need marketing, and you let me know, and we will get you guys out there you will get the phone calls. And You just send me a private message. Says Susan a private message, no problem. And we will try to do our best to point you in the right direction, because when summertime comes, we're getting phone calls. And when winter comes, it slows way down for everyone, even for us, because this is a seasonal business. Solar panel cleaning is a seasonal business, period. I don't care what anybody says. Sorry, our business is still open and I'm still taking phone calls. We'll get that one in a little bit. So it's just funny how that just started ringing as soon as we were talking about that, right? So we get lots of people calling us and saying, hey, what do you guys charge for bird proofing? What do you guys charge for solar panel cleaning? And they're finding us through organic searches. And now we're not advertising pay-per-click. We don't advertise pay-per-click as often as we should. And now a lot of people are finding us organically, and which is really, really good. Now I have a company that we're going to be working with, that we're going to see how it works as far as trying to get some more sales going on, because we're always looking. We're always trying to figure out, we have to stay one step ahead of our competitors.
Always be careful with finding a marketing company. They could sell you the world.
They sell you a lot of empty promises.
That doesn't mean that they're going to work. There's no guarantees in what they do as far as getting all the calls right away. But just do your homework. Don't just go with the first person that calls you. Really hear them out. Really ask all the questions on what they can do for you as far as marketing your business. If you want to pay all this money, but then it doesn't work for you, you kind of got screwed.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, companies like Nextdoor, companies like Yelp, companies like Facebook ads, a lot of empty promises. $600 a month for minimum to get your stuff out there. And it works for some people, but it's never worked for us. I can tell you, I've spent $2,400 just on Yelp, and maybe had a few leads come in. And every time somebody clicked and said, hey, need more info, you got charged $13 for that click.
It adds up.
And it's like, oh, I went with somebody else. Oh, I went with somebody else.
But you still got to pay for the click.
You still got to pay for them clicking on, for them to tell you, oh, I went with somebody else. And then you go over there and you try to dispute the charges with Yelp, and automatic response was, sorry, it was within our guidelines. That's for them to keep the $13. They don't want to give that money back. And that was per click. And that was going after certain keywords that we knew that was less than some of the more expensive keywords out there. So got to be really, really careful of who you market with and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And I kind of think we found that sweet spot to where we have 100 other competitors out there in this area.
We're still figuring it out.
We're always going to figure it out. So that's always going to test. That's just something that we're always going to do. We're going to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So time will tell, right? Between everything that happens. Mm-hmm. So anything else you want to add on here?
No, just get ready for summer. Get ready for the heat. Get ready for, the season of how to prepare yourself before the hurricane season comes and how it's
Right.
going to affect your business and, whether it's, obviously it's going to slow it down during that little time frame.
Yes, absolutely.
And does it pick up soon? Does it pick up after all that, or does it? How does it affect your business even after all that?
Right.
Oh, Tommy Boy. Oh, wait. Barron Solar Wash Company.
Oh, Barron's Solar Wash Company. Thank
Where
you
are they
for
from?
their subscribers. Hi guys, I agree. Yelp sucks.
Even Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy,
1986.
1986.
Yelp sucks.
Yelp is the worst.
Where are you guys from?
Let Susan know where you guys are from. That would be awesome. Put it in the chat there. Yeah, Yelp. What really bothered me with Yelp was we had some really good reviews on there, and as soon as we stopped the service, Yelp took the good reviews and they were gone. So we no longer had our good reviews on there, and we couldn't figure out. Well, I already knew what was going on because we stopped $600 a month for our ads going through Yelp, and as soon as we shut it down, that's when we noticed that our reviews that we had up there were no longer there. They were gone. And I think we had one bad review with somebody tried to book with us like 3 times or 4 times. And then they left a bad review saying that we never showed up 3 times or what have you, which is totally wrong. And what Yelp told us was you cannot contest that bad review. All you can do is respond to it. And that's when I kind of drew the final straw and said, you guys are done. I'm not paying you any more money. And I never have after that. As a matter of fact, I think we still have our business is still on there, but we don't even look at. I don't even look at it, to be honest. I think it's just there, and who knows how many people actually call us from Yelp. But it is what it is. So we don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would have stopped with Yelp a long time ago.
Mhm.
Personally,
We did.
if
Yeah.
it didn't work, soon after, I would have ended it like years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, it is going on. What's an hour already that we've been talking? An hour. That's pretty good. Guys, thanks for watching our podcast. We are going to go eat, have a nice meal, and get ready for work tomorrow. Thank you guys for chiming into our podcast today. We really appreciate it. If you are not subscribers, subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button up on top. Hit that like button. Let us know that you enjoy our podcast or YouTube video. We really appreciate that. I know I do.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
We also had somebody from Las Vegas today calling us saying that they are starting up their business up in Las Vegas.
Oh, Las Vegas seems like it's growing.
It's getting
with new cleaners out there.
a lot more cleaners coming in. Tell you that right now. A lot more cleaners. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching once again. Appreciate you guys. And we'll catch you guys next week. All right. See you guys then. Stay tuned for more videos. We got more videos coming out for the rest of the week. So stay tuned for those. All right, guys. See you on the next podcast. Thank you guys for joining in on the live chat. We appreciate every single one of you. From Susan and myself.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining us. And all of you give a lot of good input as well as far as your companies and how things are going out there. And so we appreciate all the inputs and advice too.
Make more bird-proof videos. How to get those hard corners. Jonathan, my next bird proofing, I will make the corner. As a matter of fact, I have videos on that.
He has a lot of videos on that.
I have a lot of videos on how to do the corners, and I think stay tuned on YouTube. I'll throw them up there. That way you have them. Okay. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Catch you guys on the next one. See you guys next week. See ya. Peace.